welcome to this week's Trendy Love Tuesday video. And today I just wanted to talk a little bit about what is behind your passion. So having passion for something is one thing, but having true knowledge and education behind your passion is really what can fuel that passion into actual action, where you can build momentum on whatever it is that you're into or whatever it is that you claim to be passionate about. Because again, passion is great, but passion without education is not going to drive that passion or that calling home, because it has no foundation or substance to lean on or be grounded on, if that makes sense. So, and by education, I don't necessarily mean having a degree. Now, there are many ways to be educated. So having a degree isn't the only way to be educated about a subject. And having a degree doesn't guarantee that you're educated on the subject. And that can go into because there are a lot of different ways to get degrees nowadays, and I am not going to go into my personal feelings about certain ways to get degrees, but let's just say having a degree doesn't necessarily mean that you're educated. So there is a lot of ways to be educated. You can self-teach, if that makes sense. There are so many books out. There are so many opportunities for research through online and libraries and taking workshops, going to conferences. There's just so many ways to educate yourself that sometimes serve you better than certain avenues of degrees that you can go through. And again, I'm not shading degrees altogether, because hey, I'm working on my second one. So it is not about that per se. I'm just using, a degree is one of many ways to really get grounded in your passion. So a personal example for me, I've always been passionate about, since maybe the middle of college, I've been passionate about nutrition and fitness in a more specific way. So I've been in sports throughout most of my life, but I wasn't necessarily passionate about health and fitness. I just like sports and I did sports. So that's different than necessarily me caring about being healthy. That didn't come until later in my life. And so my passion, it was great to have passion, but the way I knew that it was a part of my calling and something just within me, just waiting to continue to bloom, was when I would do research on my own. Like, not because I'm in a class, not because I have a deadline, not for any other reason besides, I'm interested in finding out more about what I'm doing with my body, what I'm putting into my body, what's coming out of my body, how things are digesting within my body, just everything involving my body. And that also leads into mental health and me wanting to be a therapist. But it just all started with wellness and fitness. And in order to continue growing your passion and continue moving forward and living in your purpose and walking out your calling, there should always be another level of deepness. I don't know if that makes sense. There should just be another level that you can grow in. And this is in every area of your life that you care about. There should always be room to grow, because nobody knows every single thing there is to know about every single thing or about any one thing. There's always more to know. And so that just is kind of what I'm experiencing when it comes to fitness. Just learning so much in the fitness training that I'm doing has really helped put a deeper foundation into the passion that I already have for health and wellness. And the same thing with mental health. Through my lived experience and just me being interested in wanting to advocate for mental health, that passion was great in and of itself, but being educated in it just helped that deeper. And the same thing with Christianity. And so Christianity is not, for me in my life, it is not a part. So when I'm talking about mental health and physical health and nutrition and all of that, those are like pieces. They all work together, and I think they flow into all areas of your life, but they can be compartmentalized. Whereas Christianity, living a lifestyle of being Christ-like, is in every area. So that's just, when I'm talking about mental health, this Christ is up in it. When I'm talking about physical health, Christ is up in it. When I'm talking about friendships, Christ is up in it. When I'm talking about work, Christ is up in it. When I'm talking about anything, Christ is up in it, because that's just a lifestyle. So I just want to make that clear, because I was like listing little pockets of things, and now I'm going to Christianity, which is just a part of everything. But the same thing with that, I can be passionate about Christ, but if I don't have any education behind it, if I'm not trying to get to know him more through reading his word, through spending time with him, then it's kind of like empty passion, if there's a such thing as that. And so empty passion kind of just is cute. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so passionate about insert whatever it is that you feel like you're passionate about. If there's nothing coming out of that passion, then it's kind of dry, and it's no point. And that's fine. Just maybe don't call it passion. You're maybe interested in that, or you are a fan of that. But in order to really be passionate about something, if you think it is your calling and something that you want to walk in purpose with, there has to be something behind it. So if you are truly passionate about something, don't let it just stop there. Dig deeper and learn more, grow in the area, find out as much as you can find out about that area, just for the sake of you finding out. Now, if you also want to get a degree and make it a career, or, you know, make it your side hustle, or whatever you want to do, those things are good too, but not necessary. If you just want to do research within yourself so you personally can just be more fulfilled in that area, that is good too. It doesn't have to be attached to a career or a degree or whatever else, but it needs to be more than just passion. It just has to be more. And on the reverse, there are people who are well educated in a subject but have no passion behind it. So specifically, an example, in my mental health journey, I have had 12 different therapists from the time that I was 15 through now, in different areas, through hospitals, and just in the different phases of my journey. And there were many therapists who had the education, but there was no passion behind it, and you can tell that. And it really affected our therapeutic relationship, because they had all the textbook knowledge, but they had no heart in it. So the reverse is also true. So don't feel hindered, or what's the word? Don't feel stuck if you are educated in an area that you're not passionate about. Just because you're educated in something, and just because you have a degree in something, doesn't mean that's your calling. And if there's no passion behind that, that is probably an indication that it isn't necessarily your purpose or something you're supposed to walk in per se. So if you find yourself, you know, you have a degree in a certain area, or you are working in a certain career field, and you just don't have the heart behind it, there's no joy, there's no peace in that, then that probably isn't your calling or your passion. So I just wanted to encourage you and encourage us, just walk in your calling, walk in your passion, and make sure that there is something behind it. And yeah, so that's all for today. Just, y'all, walk in your passion, walk out your passion, find a passion if you have not found that yet, and just walk in it, embrace it, and just find more meaning in your life through putting a foundation under your passion. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and remember to love always. Bye. I am yours and you are mine.